The desert wind howled through the narrow mountain pass as the convoy crawled forward. 5 trucks loaded with food, water, and medical supplies bound for a village cut off by insurgents. And in the middle of that convoy, a silent woman in dusty fatigues lifted another crate, her face hidden behind a scarf, her movement steady and unnoticed. No one knew her name. They just called her the Helper. But when the first explosion hit the lead truck and chaos tore through the air, every pair of eyes turned to her, and for the first time, she spoke. "Get down," she said, calm, commanding, the kind of voice that slices through panic like a blade. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you were watching from. I love knowing who is listening." Her name was Elena Torres, though no one there would have guessed it. To the convoy, she was just a logistics volunteer, small in frame, quiet in demeanor, someone who carried more than she talked. But beneath the rolled-up sleeves and worn gloves hid a past few could imagine. Once, she was a field operations officer, a strategist who had vanished after a failed mission 3 years ago, a mission that cost her her partner's life. She swore never to lead again, never to command, never to make another call that could cost a life. And yet, here she was, staring at the burning lead truck as gunfire erupted from the cliffs above. Her pulse quickened, but her breath stayed slow. Around her, men shouted orders that tangled in fear. Dust filled the air. A driver screamed for help, and somewhere inside her something long buried stirred awake. She ran toward the front, her boots sinking into the sand. One of the soldiers tried to pull her back. "Ma'am, get to cover," but she brushed him off. Her eyes scanned the horizon, elevation, distance, angle of fire. It came back to her like muscle memory. The ambush wasn't random, it was surgical. Someone knew the route. Someone wanted the supplies, not the people. She crouched beside the driver, whose leg was pinned beneath twisted metal. The smell of diesel stung her nose. "Breathe," she said, voice low but firm. "You're not dying today." As she tore open the medical crate, her hands didn't shake. But her mind did, flashing with the face of her old partner Marcus, the one she couldn't save, the one she still talked to in her dreams. Not this time, she told herself. Not again. In the next truck, the radio crackled, static and broken shouts. The commander had gone silent. Communication lines were jammed. Elena grabbed the radio, twisted wires, and rerouted power through a portable battery pack she'd carried just in case. Within seconds, she had contact. "Convoy 3, this is Elena. You're surrounded on the North Ridge. Suppressive fire only. They're hurting you. Hold position." The sergeant on the other end hesitated. "Who the hell are you?" "Elena Torres, former command. Trust me, you'll want to listen." And for reasons they couldn't explain, they did. Maybe it was her tone. Maybe it was the unshakable stillness in her voice. The kind born not from courage but from surviving fear itself. The attackers descended the ridge, shadows with rifles and greed in their eyes. Elena ducked behind a tire, signaling 2 soldiers with quick gestures. She'd trained men like them once. Now she was back in the rhythm, directing, adapting, leading. "Now," she called, and smoke grenades rolled out in arcs, blanketing the pass in white haze. The gunfire dimmed, shouts echoed, and confusion spread among the ambushers. She moved through it like a phantom, pulling the wounded driver to safety, then grabbing the convoy map. "They'll flank left next," she muttered. "We move before they do." And then she did something none of them expected. She took command of the convoy. "Everyone, listen up," she shouted. "We don't fight for glory. We fight to get these supplies to the people waiting for them. You don't move for me. You move for them." Her words steadied the chaos. Soldiers who had frozen moments ago now tightened grips on their rifles. Drivers restarted engines. Fear turned into purpose. When the insurgents broke through the smoke, expecting panic, they found a convoy moving as one. Trucks roared forward, engines straining against the sand. Elena led from the middle, issuing quick commands, coordinating cover fire, redirecting vehicles through a narrow canyon, a path she memorized from an old satellite map years ago. Bullets struck metal. Dust turned to fog. And in the chaos, Elena saw the face of one attacker, a boy, barely 16, trembling, confused. She hesitated, her finger resting on the trigger. For a heartbeat, time stopped. Was he enemy or victim? Was she saving lives or repeating the same sins that haunted her? The moral weight hit her harder than the gunfire. She lowered her weapon. "Fall back," she ordered instead. The boy ran, and for the first time in years, she didn't feel like she'd lost something. She felt like she'd found herself again. When the convoy finally reached the village, the people ran toward them. Eyes wide, hands outstretched, tears mixing with dust. Children clung to their mothers as crates of medicine and food were unloaded. One of the soldiers turned to her, still breathing hard. "You saved us." "Who are you, really?" Elena just smiled faintly, lifting another crate. "Just someone who stopped hiding." That night, as the campfire flickered and the wounded rested under the stars, Elena stood alone at the edge of the village. The wind was quieter now. The same wind that once carried screams now carried laughter. Because sometimes leadership isn't about rank or orders. It is about courage that returns when the world needs it most. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And as the dawn broke over the horizon, the silent woman lifted another crate, steady, strong, and unseen once more, just as she began. If this story moved you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes in second chances. And tell us below, what would you have done if you were in Elena's place? Whispered words, where every mission tells a human story.